Hi guys, I'm John, this is Snow White Snake, and you're watching BlindStryke Exotics. Just a little bit about myself. I have owned reptiles for probably close to 30 years. I'm from the Pittsburgh area, and I started off with frogs, anoles, bullfrogs that I caught, toads around the yard, and gradually as I got older and I moved out on my own, I started getting into snakes. And probably about 16 months ago, I bought my first ball python, which is what this girl is here, and I became addicted. Ever since then, I started getting my collection built up. She is a Mojave Lesser ball python, and she is actually my first mom. She laid a clutch of eggs probably about 8 to 9 weeks ago. They hatched last week, and she gave me 3 beautiful super Mojave ball pythons, which is what the dad was. They are in the blue eye leucistic gene pool, which means the snakes come out mostly all white, and they have beautiful blue eyes, which I don't know if you can see here or not. It's all blurry. So ever since 16 months ago when I started collecting ball pythons, they became the animal that I fell in love with. They're wonderful. They're very docile. They get to a pretty big size, which she's not even as big as they can get. She's about 2,000 grams, which is, I think, roughly around 4 or 5 pounds. And they can get double this size in terms of weight, but she's pretty long. I'd probably say she's probably about 3 to 4 feet. And that's after, she's pretty big, and that's even after her laying a big clutch of eggs and being off feed for about 6 months, going through the pregnancy process. So this channel is going to be about what I learned through the breeding process, through the keeping process. I'm going to try to give you some educational facts, but I'm also going to try to keep it real with you. I'm going to show you the ups and the downs in keeping ball pythons and a couple of the other pets I have. Currently I have probably over 20 ball pythons, adults and sub-adults, with a lot more on the way as my clutches keep getting laid and they keep hatching. Currently I also have a Brazilian rainbow boa, which is beautiful, which I'll show you in a later video. I have a Woma python who's about a year old, and she just, they're known to be crazy, but she started wanting to eat everything, including me, every time I go into her enclosure. So we're going to try to tame her out a bit because she's beautiful as well. I also have 2 white tree frogs, and I currently have a marine toad. As my business grows and as my ability to keep more reptiles grows, I think I'm going to add a redfoot or Russian tortoise as well. That's kind of what's next on my list, but my main goal is to keep and breed ball pythons because they are what I fell in love with. So what I'm doing here in this first video, I have a little cool unboxing coming up today. I have a delivery due in a couple hours. I have 2 new ball pythons that I'm adding. A little male who looks awesome, who's going to be great for my breeding projects. And I have another female coming who won't be ready to breed this year, but probably next year, who has some very interesting genes as well. So I will cut to that now. Alright guys, it is time to do the unboxing. These snakes just showed up. First I want to say, please do not be afraid of buying your pets online. Pretty much, probably 90% of my pets my snakes I should say, have come from vendors on Morph Market, which is pretty much the premier site for buying, selling, and trading snakes, ball pythons, and they sell turtles on there, tortoises, other species of snakes, geckos, basically anything you could ever ask for. You want to make sure that you grab the package when it's delivered as soon as you can, so you're not leaving it outside.
You will always have your snakes shipped to you priority overnight. Most of the time they come through FedEx. All the ones I've had come through FedEx. They ship in a container with styrofoam. On the top side of it, they usually have a heat pack or a cold pack, depending on what time of the year it is, to keep the snakes warm or cooler. When I get my snakes, I like to check them, make sure they look healthy, make sure they're visibly mite-free. I like to weigh them and I like to sex them to make sure everything is okay with them. This thing's tight. Here we go. Let's see how she's doing in here. Now this female is about 750 grams. She is a Mojave Enchi, possible yellow belly. And I think when she's up to size, I'm going to try to breed her to my highway male in my highway project, hoping that she's yellow belly. That way I can try to get some highway Mojaves and highway Enchis. She looks really good, really pretty. The Enchi breaks up the pattern a lot on the back of the snake. The Mojave helps. There's a little bit of blushing to come up the sides of the snake because of the Mojave gene. She's really gorgeous. She's a really pretty snake. So to wear, some of my bigger snakes, it's usually easier to use a bucket. You want to zero out the scale. So we're at 0 grams. Put her in the bucket. And she comes in at 730 grams. She looks pretty awesome. You can see that pattern on there. She's a gorgeous snake. Alright, let me put her back in the bag real quick. I'm going to get the male out. Look how cool that is. Now, the last female was a GHI, or a Mojave as well. But as you can see, there's barely any pattern on him. There's just a slight dorsal stripe. And that's because of the way the GHI and the cinnamon genes interact with the Mojave. It kind of almost makes them completely patternless. He's awesome looking. It's kind of hard to pick it up. He actually looks a little darker than he looks on the camera. But he is cool looking. Let's get him a weight real quick. Zero it out. Alright. He's probably a couple months old. 160 grams. He looks great. He looks nice and healthy. He's super pretty. So quarantine for usually 1 to 2 months. And that's it. So that's our first video. That's our first unboxing. And please like and subscribe. I'm going to learn creating videos and hopefully get better at this as we go along. And I hope to be in this for a long time. I'll talk to you guys soon. Thank you. Bye.